Alrighty. I think now this thing is working. I'm hoping the audio is fairly decent, considering I had problems with that last time. But let's take a look here and see what we got happening. Hopefully everything's cool and calm and collected. And I'm not sure exactly what's going to be happening. Just doing a little trucking, trying to get some hours in for our good buddies at Lytham Long Haul. Just fine-tuning everything, folks, so bear with me. I'm assuming that there's some audio somewhere along the way that I didn't screw things up that badly. Sorry, I'm just monitoring on an iPad here before we start. The damn thing decided to have an ad. Just lovely. I'm assuming that at least a little bit of it is working, so it's always a good sign. And then I can use the iPad for the chat room as well. So this is good. Alright. So let's see what we can find on the map here. Let's get into the game and see where we are. I don't have my head tracking turned on tonight. I've been having a few issues and I want to work that out with the head tracker before I go live with it. First thing I want to do is I want to swing by and buy that garage and then go get repaired. Whoops. So swing by the garage. No. Reset. Garage first. Then get repaired. And we are running a little reefer on the back here. And I guess we gotta get out of here. Now you'll notice too that at times I snap the camera back into view, into center view very quickly. That's because using the mouse, I have a reset view button. It saves me a little bit of time. Yeah, I knew I was going to get caught out in the light. Lovely. Yeah, so for the first few days, I was having some issues. Just got an SSD installed. First SSD and got it upgraded. Put in a terabyte. And I threw everything on that, and then I was fine-tuning it. A whole bunch of other things. And I mucked up, a long time ago, I mucked up my my OBS settings. So this is all starting new with Streamlabs, which kind of combines everything the Streamlabs did whoops, with what OBS does. And just trying to learn the ins and outs and getting it set back up and working all the bugs out that I had worked out before when I used straight OBS. Okay, so what I want to do is upgrade the garage. For any of you that are interested, here's what I've got. I've got 47 garages, but not all of them have drivers or trucks. You'll notice there's a few here with 0 drivers. What I'm doing is I'm going through, and every time I hit a new city that has a new garage that I haven't picked up before, I basically buy it. And then I've got 125 drivers. And of course 125 trucks. And every one of those garages has multiple trailers. So I have 207 trailers scattered out between the garages that have employees. And they either all have 5 or they have none. That's the way I've been running it. And when I get time, I'll sit down and buy more trucks. Since 133 dropped and they have all those custom templates for the trucks and the trailers, I've discovered that I probably bought about 8 or 10 different versions of the exact same truck. And it's all stupid things, like I have one that has different lug nuts and or slightly different paint on the lug nuts, or whatever the case may be. So that causes duplicates in the templates. So I'm trying to fix all that up at the same time. And the same thing for the trailers. I thought I was putting all the same reefer models in every garage. Turns out I wasn't. I think I'm actually going to turn left here instead. Just lets me discover part of the map here. So that's cool. How to cheat the AI. It's always a little bit of a blast. And I'm in Reims, France. Oops. I just did a run up here from Nice, trying to get some miles up on the old truck books for the company there. Now that it's actually tagging. So hopefully we can get our rankings up. Yeah, not much damage. A little bit more expensive than in American Truck. Okay, get spun around. Let's see what's on the cargo market for the area. Now I since they put owner trailers in, I haven't done anything besides the reefer, so I don't know what is available. I don't know what is available on the market most places, but finding on the reefer I can usually get. Look at that. Expensive ones, 250,000. Okay, so it's a long haul for 50 grand. Let's look at a price per distance. Down to Italy for 45. It's 867. Okay, La Rochelle. I haven't discovered that yet, but that's what I was looking at. There's areas here where I see that you get some really big runs, and that's one of them. So if I end up in La Rochelle, that's not such a bad thing. Gives me a chance to discover it. 733. Yep. You know, we'll do that, and then we can pop over, find something to, and then and continue from there. Now I am because it's 7:33. It's not going to be one of those hauls that I can screw around with on the timing very much. So let's just get a move on. One thing I'm thankful for is that France has at least a 90k speed limit, which is far better than some of the places I've been rolling. There's some places that you end up in the back roads of Germany, it's like 60k. It's like, no. But then again, you don't have to deal with the toll booths, which is always an issue in France and Italy. And being that I actually live over here in Switzerland, that you get to see that it's not as bad as it seems. Whoops. I missed the turnoff. Isn't that lovely? Paying attention? Not. Yapping? Yep. I actually thought I was a little further down the road. Okay. Oh, it's not there anymore. Really? It's not there anymore? Cargo? Take the job. Okay, that was a little bizarre. Yes, I'm cheating on the loading. I'm allowed. Okay, let's just check the map and see if there's anything weird with the routing. Yeah, okay. I think that works. Thump thump. Unlike some of the players I play with fatigue off, because it just drives me nuts. Gonna be a little bit arcadey. And then on top of that, I also turn off the traffic offenses because the AI is dumb as a bag of rocks. So, bound to be expected. Just bear with me 1 second here. Had a minor issue with the iPad. It was blocking the chat. Lovely. Get through the curves here. I know it's 70. I don't care. Now we're back up to 90. Good. Yeah, the one thing that's always pissed me off about ETS and ATS is the AI. It is so dumb at times. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so if you scroll down on my page, you'll see that there's a link. Hey, Zoob, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. There's a link to here, Zoob, you can answer this. Is it lithium? 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 How the hell do you say lithium trucking? I say lith like as in lithium. Lithium. Am I wrong there? Zoob is one of the fellow haulers at Lithium. Long haul. Lithium. Okay, I'm saying lithium. That's what I'm saying. I didn't think it was like lithium. Lithium. Okay. Glad we got that sorted. So how's the audio sound? Sound like crap? Last one I did sounded like crap. I had the stuff way too high on the game sounds, and for whatever reason I don't understand, but my mic was set to about 50% or something ridiculous. So it wasn't exactly a great experience, and I had I was rambling for an hour before a good buddy showed up and said, "Wow, you sound like shit." And I was like, "Oh, gee, thanks." And I tried to fix it, and it was so buggered. There's nothing I could do while I was streaming. There's just no way. I wasn't going to be able to fix that without a few hours of dicking around with it. So you're going to be driving there tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody gave me a follow. Who the hell was that? Is that you, Zoob? Did you just give me a follow? That's cool, man. It doesn't say it in my chat. It better. I'm going to be really upset if it doesn't. Awesome. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'm trying to get some miles up as well. That truck books fiasco is just killing us. And now Ashley's having problems getting some kind of a .NET error. So, Lord knows what the heck's going to happen there. Making you a CV. Oh, was that you that was asking what a CV was? Curriculum vitae? Because if that was you, that I was the one that answered then. And if you get 15K, Zach is going to try to buy me 2 map DLCs. Nice. Yeah. Basically, a CV is a fancy way of saying a resume, and it's just them trying to get a little more info. It's basically, consider it like a long form resume, which is basically how it is. They want more details on your experience. It's basically so that they can. It has no bearing. It's just to help sort the piles of. Let's look at these again compared to hell with this. That's one of those wonderful things. No, so as I was saying, in case anybody else is listening, I doubt if there's anybody else here. There's only me and Zoom tonight. Have no clue. Okay, trying to read small chat with my bad eyes. Let me see here. Hang on, I can do this. I can cheat and lift the iPad up where I can see it. Well, I'll take up 2 lanes for a minute. Who cares? Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Now, did you see the post? Did you see the post from Ashley saying that getting a .NET exception error now, and that's showing up in the forums? It's due to some kind of a profile bug. Somebody's got a bad profile. Look, I don't know what industry it is, but I'm going to tell you that, like in the tech industry, for a programmer, they'll turn around and they'll say things like, we want somebody that has 5 years experience in this language. And the language is only 3 years old. So there's no way that they can cover that. It's just to weed out those people that'll sit there and go, I don't think I qualify. I'm not going to bother because I don't think I have the qualifications. Just put it in. You know, somebody posted, what was it, a pilot's job posting, and it said that they needed to have X amount of experience on flying a Cessna and an F-22, which is a fighter. And all these other planes and everything else, and the guy shows up and he says, I've got a pilot's license that's clean, I'm multi-engine rated, and I can start today. And they're like, yeah, okay, that works, you're hired. Like, I mean, it's just more or less to weed out some of the crap, which is bound to happen. And again, I gotta lift the iPad up while I'm driving. Let's see. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I love these merges. You know what? You might be surprised. Sometimes it's not about what you know. Sometimes it's about who you know and the impression that you leave. I used to head a department that was all on the road technicians, and I was their training guy. I was lead help desk when I'm the guy they called when they couldn't figure things out. And I'll tell you right now, the best employees that we had were the ones that could follow instructions. They didn't have to know it all. They just had to follow instructions. You don't need to wing it. You just need to follow the damn instructions. And sometimes that's really hard for people. Okay, now you're booking me up here and you give me a whole wall of text to read. Stand by. Oh. Yeah. No. That's the difference. I mean, airlines are a very specific example because of the fact that you can learn to fly any plane. Careful. But you need to be able to learn to fly in the first place. So once you can fly, then it's a matter of upgrading your skills. So they turn around and they think because they can fly one plane, they can fly any plane. And it's like, no. But there are skills that apply from one to the other. What you learn in a smaller plane definitely helps you in every circumstance, because that's the bare bones of flying. But that's neither here nor there. You're damn right it's expensive. Damn right it's expensive. Take a look at the price of fuel and maintenance. And it's something you can't skimp on because, I'm sorry, but I don't mind getting in a car that, my buddy says, well, it hasn't been running right, it might break down as we drive down the road. Now, if he says the same thing, he says, well, it might fall out of the air as we're flying. It's like, no frickin' way am I getting up in a plane that isn't maintained. I don't give a shit how good of a pilot you are. If the wing falls off, we're dead. So, no. That's a huge difference. I gotta get in the other lane here. Sneak in behind the bus. Yeah, no, it's flying is a whole different ball of wax. I got a brother who's a pilot. I got a brother who's a trucker. And I'll tell you, both of those are brutal. Mind you, the pilot wasn't a commercial pilot, but still. A lot of money going out for a hobby, let me tell you. And I have no friggin' idea why there is no notification popping up on me that you subscribed. I'm going to have to beat the daylights out of this thing another time. Yeah, I stand on my brakes all the time. Because I have, I keep thinking that, oh yeah, I'll just slow down and you get the AI jumping on you. Why, is it doing something? Because like I've already adjusted out my sensitivity on the brakes. It keeps me from flying off the road. Is there something that happens if you slam it on too hard or something? there's some funky physics you can play with and make your truck jump up and down like a lowrider or something. Oh, that's what they're talking about. ABS. Do we have ABS on the trucks? You know, I always wondered why we didn't have even on the American side, a separate, like a brake controller that I can adjust the brake boost between the trailer to the truck. Because one of the jobs I used to deliver cargo with an F-350, and it was basically 50-wheel trailers and travel trailers and shit like that for an RV place. And we had a brake controller, and you could adjust the boost so that you could get the brakes to come on earlier and harder on the trailer, or manually bring them on as you're driving. Yeah, another long line of text you're going to make me read, aren't you? Okay, hang on until I get to a little bit of a straight stretch where I can take up more than one lane. Okay. Crap. Yeah, I generally will not drive it any faster than 95, and that's on cruise. Unless you mean in real life. In real life, all bets are off. But yeah, I haven't noticed anything 93 miles an hour. Okay. That was an ETS. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You guys use miles per hour there over on that side. Okay, so that's 150 or so kilometers an hour. It's a little bit of a bitch. The best I've been able to do with my Volvo and ATS bobtail was 104 or 106, and that was downhill with a tailwind. Mind you, that's with the beast. That's with that mod there that gives you the 750 horsepower and like 3,500 newtons of torques. So it's a little bit of a beast. I love that truck. That's the Aerodeath's VNL, which I still prefer to drive over the SCS one because there's more mod options for it. It looks a hell of a lot better. I like the interior options as well as the exterior. I can't get nice fenders on the back of an American truck. I have to get these steel tubs that they put on there that aren't painted and shit. It's nice. Yeah, I can imagine how well that went over. That actually work in game. I guess they can mod anything they want, really. It's just a matter of getting the specs. Although what I'd like to see is some transmission mods, because I'd like to see this as a 6-speed, but with the ability of the 12 plus 2 in the retarder. Excuse me. In ATS, I'm running the 18 with the retarder. Yeah, we'll see. I don't have a shifter. All I've got is the paddles on the wheel, so I'd have to do a sequential. That's why I'd like to see a 6-speed that I could run the sequential on, because it's brutal if you've got like an 18. You know, you gotta go 4, clack 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 clack, 8, clack 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 clack. It's a little crazy. Zoom, you want to do me a favor and test something for me? In chat, type exclamation link as a bot command. See what happens. See if that actually does anything. What the hell? I got broken here. Oh, yay. Well, you know what? Time to block the lanes. That didn't work for you, eh? Whoops. Let me try it here. Let me see. Exclamation link. Nope. I guess I didn't fix it. The Streamlabs OBS comes with a kind of a chat bot. And I was trying to get it to display the link to the VTC, but obviously I don't know what I'm doing with it. Oh, you know what it could be? I gave it another command too. Let me see if that works. I used 2 of them. Nope, that didn't work either. Oh well, such is life. Oh, did we all of a sudden pause out here? Hang on. We're still, I'm assuming that we're still streaming. I could be wrong. I could have broken everything. Hang on. Let's see. While I'm at it, I can check the bot. Yeah, that should be active. VTC link. VTC link. Nope. Are ya? Ah, life's a bitch. Okay, let me finish this run here so we can get some mileage counted. Oh, jeez, I gotta put the chat window back. Jesus, take it, fit it. Okay. What do you mean 15 to 60? I would adjust that. I'd take that 15 and say it's like 30 to about 75. I think it's much higher than that. Well, if that means you're 15, then okay. I can tell you I'm not 75. Oh, 16, okay. So you do know for a fact that there's one person younger than you? Because if that's the case, then that sort of would make sense why you said 15. I know that personally I'm not 75 and I'm definitely not 60. a little younger than that. Cool. No, like I tried to explain to Matt, up until I saw Matt stream, I had been with Viva, but I was only with them for about 5 days when I saw his stream. I didn't know. I didn't know that there were other virtual truck companies, and prior to learning about Viva, I didn't know that there were even such a thing as virtual truck companies. Dave and I seem to be about the same age. Yeah, I didn't know that there was such thing as a virtual truck company until I came across it on Reddit. Okay. To me, they're not a problem, but over there you're just a number. You're just a number over there. There was no personality. Like, I went in their Discord and I asked the question, and not only did it take days before I got the answer, or hours, sorry, before I got the answer, it was just not. It was not a very friendly environment. They weren't outright hostile or anything, but yeah, they weren't outright hostile towards me. It's just that they were indifferent, you know, which is a big difference than hostile. They were not hostile. They were not mean to me. I didn't feel insulted or anything of the sort. It just, they were too big. I don't like something big like that. And then I came across Matt's stream, and I watched them for a while, and we were shooting the shit. And by the end of the stream, I had signed up, joined the Discord, gotten truck books. Didn't work, but I got it, and joined with them. So I have to say that whatever he did on that stream worked, and it's kind of cool. So how did you find them? Is it through somebody you knew, or what? I'm always curious how people find other things like that. We don't have far to go. 108 clicks. I'm hoping this logs. I'm hoping there's not any issues like there was before. Don't get any stupid errors the way Ashley's been getting errors and stuff. Oh, another big line of wall of text. Write more sentences, less walls of text. See, it's hard for me to read. Hang on. I knew someone from another VTC. Different directions from Ah, okay. That's cool. That's cool. It's always cool when you find stuff through other people that you get, you know, That's the way the A team came together. That's my group of guys. Basically, one guy was hanging out with the other, and I came on board and told the one guy, I said, you know what? You remind me of that grumpy old uncle that nobody wants to have at their family reunion because he's always doing shit like, giving the kids firecrackers and bitching and complaining about the beer's too warm and shit like that. And I kind of liked him, so we started shooting the shit. Next thing you know, we had a group of us together, and we were the A team, the asshats. And we sort of followed that moniker. And like I told Matt, the main rule is you don't be a dick. You can shoot your friends in the face, but don't do that to a stranger. Yeah, flash your lights at me. I know I get the high beams on. I really don't care. You're AI. Keep the speed down a little bit here. Okay, hang on here. That's the seam support where Matt said I have to stay in with until the day it does, or I die. Well, that's one way of looking at it. Who knows? You grow up with the company. You'd be like the son he never had, and he'll pass the company along to you someday when he's old and can't drive anymore. Am I thinking like a Godfather movie? It's the Italian Mafia, man. What the hell kind of driveway is this? Okay. Usually I don't see that many trees on the circles. Are you kidding? If I turned off the interior lights, I could probably see better, but I got old vision, so too bad, so sad. I'm holding up traffic again. To go. Okay, do you know what La Rochelle is famous for, Zoob? Or should I explain it to you? I'll give you a chance for that to catch up to you in the chat. Nope. Okay, La Rochelle has a very big port, but it's not the type of port that you would think. It's not for shipping. What they have there is they have sailboat manufacturing, and one of the biggest sailboat plants there builds speaking of standing on the brakes, Fountaine Pajot. No, just sail stuff. Sailing catamarans. Where the hell do they want me to park this thing? Oh, let me guess, they're going to want me to back it into this slot here, right? Because I don't think the map marker... Yeah, you know what? That's not going to happen. Let me see here how many trailers are in the way. Let's see if I can cut this or not. Ooh, that's close. Take a mirror. Hey, now that's tight. That's tight. And now you just go over here, scrape the wall. How are we doing on the wall there? Back up a little bit. There we go. That's how you park it. Trailer maneuvering bonus. 40 points! Makes it so much worthwhile. Okay, so... what do we got here? There's a garage over there I can buy. Repair shop. That's going to be one of those, what you call it, recruitment centers. Actually, we're going to go this way. No. We're going to go this way. Then there. Then here. Then we're going to go by the garage. I'll get most of the mapping out of the way. Rev it up. Drop the brake. It doesn't quite work that way. It's not like a clutch. Whoa. Hi. Cop car too. Love it. Here's the service area. I always do this after every job because that way there I can be sure that I don't get screwed and forget. It's like a habit. And some of the runs that I do are like, 2,700, 2,800 kilometers, so sometimes it makes it a little, shall you say, rough. Oh look, there's a new update required on logbooks. Ugh. Okay. You know what we're going to do? I think at the moment we're going to jump over to an intermission, and I'm going to update and use the bathroom. So in the meantime, we'll just have you hang out here. I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, sorry about that. That turned into a little bit longer than I wanted, but... Okay. So where are we again? Oh yes, we're going to do that loop to get the garage. Okay. Give me 40 acres and I'll turn this rig around. There's a 1% damage on the trailer. One of the first times I was playing ETS, I got hung up on the tracks and ended up getting smacked by a train. It was lovely. Let's just say I was not impressed. Oh well, screw you guys then. You pull out a little too far and the AI just loves you. For whatever reason. Okay, so right turn glide, and there's recruitment. A lot of zigzags in this town. Come on. Still with us, Zoob, or did you pass out? I still have the high beams on, that's stupid. Yeah, so it's definitely logging the miles now. Some people were having problems with the with a .NET, Microsoft .NET exception that was popping up because of a profile issue, and they pushed an update for that, so that's cool. Come on, I want to buy a garage. Hey, look. Cool. Didn't notice that before. I've noticed a lot of other advertising in the game for SCS, which is kind of cool. Yes, we want to buy it. Yes, we're going to drive through our own garage. A lot of junk in here. Can you make the old owner take his shit away, please? I really don't want that stuff in here. Okay, that's better. Make it a little bigger. I didn't put the parking brake on. Who put the freaking parking brake on? Another reason I upgraded the garage right away is because then I save on fuel. Doesn't make sense, right? 180,000 euros. Save a few bucks on some fuel. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so before we go anywhere else, let's look at the cargo market. So from here, 90,000. Mantis, 200,000. 100,000. See. I just gotta get over there. Okay, everybody close your eyes. You're not supposed to see me do this. Oh yeah, we're way off the mark here, eh? Where the hell's the town? Anybody seen the town? Hello? Good enough. Okay, let's look at the map again. Cargo Mart. That's a good run. 2,165. Get back in the truck. Oh, blocking traffic. Ah, stupid car. Parking brake. Six kilometers from the destination. Okay. That's not bad. Rolling. Keep those wheels rolling. 70. What the hell? Who made the speed limits here? It's ridiculous. I ain't driving no 70. Yeah, I knew it was gonna rain. Why does it sound like there's a jet flying over my head? Whoa, we're in a circle. Pay attention. You rascally varmint. Not like the high beams help. Need faster windshield wipers though, that's for sure. Guess I'm gonna have to use my turn signals more. Nice. I do like the storm effects. The new rain is pretty cool too. I do have to admit that. Can't read your speedometer. Okay. Is it that low? Yeah. What are you playing it on? A potato? Is that what your PC is? If you scroll down, you can see the specs on mine. This is a Packard Bell from 2009. And I can tell you that the only reason it's where it is today is because when I got it, it had one of the better i5s in it. If it wasn't for that i5 that's in it, this thing would be crap. I'm running it on a 1050 Ti. You're playing it on a laptop. Okay, that's definitely a potato. Takes big bucks in a laptop to get gaming performance out, that's for sure. I know I was piecing parts together to see what it was going to cost me to put a new machine together. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a motherboard, CPU, case, power supply, and RAM. That's it. And then that way there I'll have enough to keep me going for a while. The next upgrade after that, because I have the SSD and that is the video card, because the 1050 Ti is i5 8500K. That's an unlocked, right? Yeah. So I got 16 gigs, but it's DDR3. So I can't. I probably won't be able to use it in the new machine. In a new machine, because they've all gone to DDR4, and the RAM pricing is just out to lunch right now. It's ridiculous. Yeah, well, that's what broke me, is that I ended up spending all my birthday money. It was my birthday at the end of November. So I spent all my birthday money, pulled it all together, and picked up an SSD. Originally I was looking at getting like a 480 or 512. But I looked at it, and for just a little bit more, if I could squeeze a little bit more, I'd be able to do a 960, and I ended up getting a crucial 1050. Okay. Yeah, the 1050 Ti, it's been a really good little card. I went from a GTX 650 to this 1050 Ti, and I've had this card now a year and change, and I'm playing on Ultra on everything that I play. The only thing I do is I might change the shadows down, because some games are really potato on shadows. You know, it gets a little ridiculous, some of the requirements for some of the games nowadays. Where'd you order from? Slow boat from China or what? If it's been that long. Because I thought all the 8800s were Ks. Am I wrong on that? I thought they were all Ks. To give you an idea, if you want to know what this is, the CPU I have, look up a Core i5 at 750. That's what it's called. A Core i5 at 750. And you compare that to some of the even newer Core i5s, and you'd be looking at it and going, holy crap, that thing holds its own. It's a big ugly beast, but it holds its own. I know you wrote more in the chat there. I'm gonna look here in a second as soon as I get through this stupid pay me now gate. Come on. A squirty thing on the wipers. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know anything about the squirty thing on the wipers. I haven't seen any bug shit on there either, so I have to assume that that's not modeled in DX9. Ah, okay. So it probably is coming on a slow boat from China in the fab. Yeah, there's always a delay with Intel. I'm really thinking the next machine I build is going to be a Ryzen. Everybody says, well, it's not the same performance that you get for the Intel. Maybe not initially for the games, but if I'm going to be doing streaming more, the extra cores for the extra core abilities would be nice for that. Yeah. 218 pounds. So I guess that's about equivalent with the euro, right? Around 220, 240 euros, something like that, because the pound is dropped. So it's not too bad. I think Core i5-88 here in Switzerland is running about 340 or 350 francs. Which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. When you do the conversion, it's because we have such a higher tax here. Come on, boys. Get out of my way. Get. Yeah, bloody hell, it's a tunnel. The AIs all slow down in the tunnels for whatever stupid reason. Whoa. I think I went over 100K there. That might be expensive on the job. It may have freaked it already. I wonder how long you have to be over that speed limit before it considers it racing. I hope it's more than what I just did. Otherwise this job is a waste. Except for the money. Any ideas of how long I could be over the 97K before the racing kicks in? In case you're wondering, all these caravans that you see in the game, they're all hobby caravans. German manufacturer, made not too far from where I live in Switzerland. You think the top is 100? I would hope so. I'm on the mailing list for all the local electronic stores, and they keep sending me all their Christmas and deals, and they were sending me Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday deals, and it's all crap. It's nothing I want. Nothing I need. And the stuff that I did want, because I had the money for, like an SSD, wasn't on sale. They had the sale the week before. When I didn't have the cash, slap upside the head. no, this machine's been pretty solid for me. I think this is the 4th video card that I've upgraded through. And upgraded the RAM. I went from 8, what it originally had, to 16. Makes a world of difference. And what else did I change on it? Oh, I blew the hard drive up. Came with a terabyte Western Digital that just eventually started going clunk, 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 clunk. So that was easily dealt with. So what do you use to drive? Do you have a controller? Are you using keyboard and mouse? Wheel? What? I've got a Thrustmaster T150. That's there's 2 versions. There's the TMX, which is the Windows Xbox version, and the one I'm using is the PlayStation version. I looked at the 27 and boy was it pricey compared to, especially here. I mean, even trying to bring it in from Amazon in Germany was expensive. And I got this for, what was it, 100 on sale for 140 francs, when the cheapest from Logitech I could get was close to 300 francs. It's the same reason I don't have Track IR, because Track IR here is almost 300 francs, which is effing ridiculous. I've got an ED tracker, which gives you not 6 degrees of freedom, but 3. It does pitch, yaw, and roll, the equivalent. That's a good price. Yeah, but if you've had it that long, that's why you got it at a good price. That's one of the things that they've gone up in price. They haven't changed them really, but it's just they've gone up in price for whatever reason. Just like the joysticks, I've got I started with a Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS X, and from there I went to the Satec X52 Pro, and I still have it. It's in a box here. It's just there's buttons that aren't working because the wiring harness is crap on the Satec. And I've got the Thrustmaster T6000M HOTAS without the pedals, but I use the pedals from the wheel. In the setup for the pedals, you can have them combined, so that they're basically treated like a single. Oh, got a truck on fire here. This is cool. I haven't seen this before. Come on. I'm not scared to drive by the truck on fire. I mean, geez. Bunch of idiots. It's just on fire. Not going to blow up. But, yeah, so the pedals, you can link them so that they're combined into one. So basically, if you're not pressing on the pedals, then it's centered. And then you have a left pedal and a right pedal, and I use that for the flight sims. and then you can have them not linked so they're individual axis, so you have a throttle and brake, which is what I have right now. Whoops, there goes my limit. I'm screwed on this job. Stand by, I want to see if that registered or not. I'm scared to look. I guess I don't find out until the end of the run. Oh boy. Yeah, that's the part that wears out. This thing's got kind of a rubberized grip at the 3 and 9 position. I think I got up to 105, so I might have cooked this job already. It was 103 when I glanced up, but I think that was slowing down at that point. So that's probably racing at that point. But I was on the binder, so yeah, this has got like a rubberized section, and when it goes, I'm just gonna get some hockey tape. Hockey tape will fix everything. So that's not going to count then. This job isn't going to count for them, is it? So I might as well just skip ahead and do another job. Is that what you're telling me? That I've wasted my life? What are you gonna do with your life? Come on, tell me. Should I just scrub this job? Yeah, okay. I gotta remember how far the chat is back compared to my thing, so. Let me just pull over here. Yep, it's good for the money. That's about it. So, we'll do that. Where am I going? Oh, I'm supposed to type that? Oh, good luck. Hang on. Good thing I've got a funky keyboard. Oh, it doesn't have that because it's not... Oh. I'll put that in... See if it takes it. Yeah, that appears to put me in the right position, I think. Let's see. You know what? I'm assuming I'm in the right area. Yeah, that's Norfood. Hey, there's my garage. How about I stop here? No, I'm not going to bother with the autosave. Just do what I have to do. Hey, look, I can buy the garage while I'm here. Yes. Okay. Of course, I got a parking brake on. Look at that, I'm right next door to where I have to deliver to. Isn't that fabulous? I'll get the money for it and move on. It's not like the money is a big motivator for me. 214 million in the game. Go ahead. Yeah, you're an idiot. Not my fault you pulled out. Take that. Now, where does it want me to park? And of course, on the side again. I'll get the auto park here in a second. There we go. Okay, so let's see what truck books thought of my little incident. Did not register it. Oh yeah. It took it? No. Hang on. It says 105. It does not say racing. It does not say racing miles. Fuck. Okay. That doesn't help me. Shit. Okay. Yeah, it does not say racing. Well, isn't that special? Okay. What can we get out of here to bring back to someplace nice? 71. 140. 150. 130. 140. Stockholm to Paris. Okay. Sorry about that, just taking a drink. Stockholm to Paris for 169. Okay, well, what's the most expensive one on the map? Brest, Bergen. I have a garage in Brest too. Jeez. Stockholm to Paris. Stockholm to Paris. You know what? I'll do Stockholm to Paris. Can't see my keyboard because of the IPID. Oh, I'm spelling that wrong, aren't I? Am I an idiot? It's with a K. Welcome back. Guess what? It wasn't speeding miles. It was not speeding miles, so maybe not on the sidewalk. Yeah, that kind of sucks. So I'm gonna have to make up for it. I don't know if you caught that in the stream or not, so it didn't register it as speeding miles. So the job was good. It was valid. Which really kind of sucks. I turfed the job for nothing. I did it for the money, money, money. Because it's so funny, funny, funny. It registered a top speed of 105, by the way, in case you're wondering. Yeah, but I think I guess you have to do it for a certain amount of time before it considers it. And maybe just because I goosed up and then came back down and I wasn't sustaining it, I'm not exactly sure. I might have to enable that alarm on the truck books. Either that or start paying more attention. Which should probably be a better option, to be honest. Probably not a bad idea. Okay, well this is going to be a nice little run. The other one was 400 clicks in. That's as far as I got. You know what? I'll try to keep it a little closer to 90 instead of 95. That way I'll be less tempted to pop over on acceleration. Oh yeah, this always sends me through Malmo. I don't want it to send me through Malmo. I want it to send me around. See, it goes through Malmo. I don't like that. Go around. No. Yeah, that's faster. GPS routing isn't exactly perfect. The other thing I had to do is set the cruise control for a tolerance of 0. And the other thing that bugs me is they say that 80 is the max in American Truck Sim. There are some states now that is the speed limit, and you can go over just coming down a hill, which means you're gonna have to ride the brakes or keep using the engine retarder, or Jake brake as they call it. There's the Scania plant. It's too bad we can't drive up on that nice bridge up there. That'd be kind of cool. If there's anybody else in the stream that plays either Euro or American Truck Sim, feel free to pipe up and say hello. You're fine to sit there and lurk as well. I play this because it's supposed to be relaxing, and it's nice to have a couple people show up and shoot the shit with you while you're driving. Passes the time. And if you're like me and didn't know anything about virtual trucking companies, it's it's another layer to the game. Basically, you don't do anything different than what you're doing right now by playing the game, whether it's single player or whether you play on multiplayer. It doesn't matter whether it's ATS or ETS or pro mods or anything. It's basically you drive, you do your normal jobs just like you would. The difference is you have a tracker that runs in the background and it picks up the jobs, and the accounting as far as where the job was, to and from, what it was worth, and the monies involved, the mileage involved, basically gets credited to the virtual trucking company. Not that it doesn't get credited to you, it just gets added on their books as total. So Zub and I both drive for the same company, so any miles that we put on in either game gets added to the tally. And with the long haul in the month of November, it was for mileage, it was third in the UK. And they worked hard for that. I joined just before the end of the month, and the Truckbooks app that they use to track everything was broken because of the update to 1.33. So people who stayed on 1.22 were fine, and for some strange reason some people on 1.33 were fine, but a lot of us were borked, so it was hard to keep the momentum going, but they managed to do it, and they managed to get to third. But then it sort of collapsed just after the end of the month, when the people were really hard on the miles, collecting the miles. Took a little bit of a breather because of the Truckbook app still being borked, caused their ranking to tumble. I think they're fifth. I think we're fifth now, if I'm not mistaken. Zood can probably look it up, because I don't think he's driving. And I'd like to see them get back up there. And I know that there's rankings just within the company, and some companies, like Lithium, they have rewards for their top drivers. So in the month of November, they had an award for the top mileage getter on ETS and ATS as well. And Zub was a winner for actually being the mouthpiece. I mean, the most active on the Discord in the company. Mouthpiece, I mean, the most active. Yeah, that's what I said, the most active. What's our ranking in the UK right now? What are we at? Are we at 5th or are we at 7th? Because of all the things going on. Well, I kind of expect a young guy like you to be the winner for most active on the Discord for 3 months. Although I'm trying to compete a little. But yeah, what's our ranking in the UK right now? That's what I'm curious, because now that we're certain to be able to put the miles up. Hopefully we can get that rank back up. It's of no real benefit except for the camaraderie that you have from the virtual trucking group that you're part of. So it doesn't mean you play the game any different. So we're 5th now, okay. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you play the game any different. It's just, you know, if you find a group of people that you can hang out with, shoot the shit on Discord, or, you know, help motivate you a little bit to play a little bit more, or you want to help out a team a little bit, then maybe virtual trucking company is for you. And if you scroll down on the Twitch page here, you'll see I've got a link to our VTC with the long haul. And you can see what they're about there. Enough of that. Who wants to see me pass shit? That's a Ford. Gone. That's a Renault. Oh, he's giving me a run for the money. He's going to get boxed, though. The AI is not that smart. That's right. I know everybody's raving about the new DLC for the Baltic. And to be honest, I'm going to get it eventually. For my birthday, part of my birthday gifts is that there was a whole bunch of little add-ons for American Truck Sim and Euro Truck that had been sitting in my wish list on Steam for a while, so the wife bought them all. Plus an extra add-on for Arma 3, which I play as well as DCS, Digital Combat Simulator. And of course the usual update came out for No Man's Sky, so I had to give that a try. Maybe I'll play some of that on the stream as well. Zoom, do you play ATS as well, or just ETS? Anything in the American side? Because it's quite a bit different than the European. I find it, born and raised in Canada, the North American roads are quite familiar for me. But coming to Europe and dealing with all the Eurocentricity, I can't even say that, the Euro way of thinking when it comes to roads, traffic, rules, and stuff like that. It's a little bit of a change, and I enjoy it. You should, man. ATS is good fun. I mean, you get those big badass trucks you see in the movies, and once you drive on those roads, you'll turn around and you look at these roads and you go, oh my god, they're so small. It's a huge difference. Just like when I left Canada, my car that I had at the time was a Chrysler Concorde, which is one of the biggest sedans that they made. It's bigger than the Chrysler 300 that's sold over here. And, oh shit. See, I'm yapping now, and I missed my turn off. See what you made me do? Gotta love this. This is what happens when you don't pay attention. Hang on. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I better do it now before the trucks come. Kabang. No, nobody hit me yet. Coming over here was a big difference. I used to, when I came to visit before I moved over here, it was like, holy crap, are these parking spots ever small, thinking about how I could get my car in. I used to complain going to Walmart in Canada because the parking spots were small for my big car. Then I came over here and I was seeing the parking spots for smart cars. And I was like, Crap, that's motorcycle parking. No, that's car parking. Which is actually kind of funny. Roundabouts I was used to. We have roundabouts in Canada. Okay, hang on. I'm just going to pause for a second and I'm going to mute the mic because I'm going to sneeze. Okay, there's a little bit of a brain buster for you. Time to wet the whistle. When I first played, it was American Trucks and the wife bought it for herself. And I was playing with an Xbox controller, or the equivalent, a Logitech gamepad. And I'm telling you, it was brutal. Got used to it, but it was brutal. That's why I said I gotta have a wheel. And I know, there are tons of people out there that play with PlayStation and Xbox controllers that have no issues playing any game, doesn't matter what it is. It could be driving, it could be flying, it could be whatever, first-person shooters. And they'd still kick my ass, even if I was using a keyboard and a mouse. That's because I'm old and my reflexes are slow. But that's okay. Is there another Reno? Yeah, yellow. That's one thing I will say in Euro Truck. The cars that you see on the road have a lot more bright colors than what you find in the real world. Kind of partial to bright colored cars. I used to have a red Golf. It wasn't a GTI or anything. It wasn't an R, it was just the Golf. North American. Just basically crap. I don't think it was built to the same standards. And many years ago, many years ago, my cousin and I, we bought a 1971 Corvette that needed some TLC. And we hopped it up quite a bit and sold it off, split the money. So I got a little bit of history with some hot cars. That's a nice, hey, that's nothing wrong with the Polo. Nothing wrong with the Polo. Although a 10 plate, how old would that be? I don't do the conversions on the plates very well. You mean like 2010? Is that what you're saying? I have no clue. Does not translate, buddy. Okay, so it is 2010. Okay. So what is it when I hear like a 53 plate? Because I see that on some of the websites. So it's got a 53 or 52. Is that... What does that mean? That can't mean like 1953. At least better not. That wouldn't make sense. And I know that I guess the plate goes with the car at the time of first sale, right? And then the plate stays with the car. I think that's how it works. Or does it stay with the owner? I don't know. I'd like to have a Brit explain that to me. It's a little bit of a foreign thing. Because here the plate stays with the owner. Another long line of text. Stand by. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's a little confusing for me as well. No, you know what? I'll stay here because we're gonna loop soon. Yeah, I don't have anything exciting at the moment. I drive a Skoda Octavia Combi, as we call it here. You call it an estate. So, not a very exciting vehicle at all, but I love it. It's got more than enough power for what I want. And it's comfortable. And it has heated seats because I'm an old man and my ass gets cold in the winter, even though I'm from Canada. And it's got Bluetooth and nav and all that other shit. It doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Google Play or whatever they're calling it. But runs like a top, gets great mileage. So it goes by when the car was made, yeah. Oh, that's right, you can, eh? Getting to be that age. Okay. See, the big thing over here is that kids, when they're 15, they can get a moped. And you would be surprised how many mopeds are here. Now, when I say moped, I mean it's got a motor and pedals. Anything that has a motor but doesn't have pedals, even if it's got the small motor, is what I call a scooter. So you can get a 50cc moped or a 50cc scooter. The difference is moped has the pedals. The advantage there is they get to drive in the bike lanes and all over the bike paths. And they're loud as hell, and they're all two-stroke, and they smoke. It's awesome. And I think if I was a 15-year-old kid, that would be the thing I'd be itching on too. So you have to be 16. Yeah. That's cool. Okay, let's see what you wrote here. I'm off now, need to do some stuff, then put Steve's appointment at 8:15. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep going because I want to get this delivery done. It is 25 after 10 my time. I'm going to go till this is done. And then I'm going to call it quits because I got to be up at 5 a.m. So, thanks for popping on, Zoop. I appreciate it. Let me know how it sounds so it doesn't sound like crap. Not like a potato like the last one I did, which is cool. Much appreciated, and I'll catch you on the Discord. Catch you on the Discord. See you later. Perfect. Have a good one. Yeah, I had bikes all my life, so you started off on little dirt bikes, little monkey bikes we call them, little Honda monkeys. Moved up, had a bunch of different dirt bikes, bunch of different street bikes, and had to sell my last bike before I moved over to Switzerland, because there's no way it was worthwhile bringing it over here. I couldn't have shipped it for what I sold it for. It wasn't worth it. And then there would have been stuff I had to do to it here to make it legal, as they say. Okay, this is the one that always confuses me. I want the one that doesn't take the car that I can go through. That's what I want. Right here. I have to say it's pretty. Watching that sun come down, jets landing, coming across the bridge. And you probably can't see because of the top bar I have, but it's, if you look on the, oops. No, I guess you can't really see it. In game, it is currently 5 minutes to 9 in the evening. And it's it stays lighter up here on this part of the map. I've been told I should grab the Pro mods, even if I don't have the Baltic DLC right now. And I think I may do that at some point over the next day or two. Hopefully before they come out with a fix for, or not a fix, but an adjustment for the Baltic DLC. Then it'll require it, and I won't be able to use Pro mods. So I may have to do that. I love these driving games. I like the flying games too. Play a lot of DCS with the guys from the A-Team. We all have the chopper packs. We fly Hueys, and it's just a great blast. I'll stream some of that too over the next little while. It's nice to get back into the streaming. I used to do it a lot more. There's quite a few people that I follow on Twitch that do DCS. Torny is one guy, Torny Quiet, and he's always a blast. He's Australian. And of course I follow some of the Grim Reapers, which are the premier groups. They have their own subreddit for DCS called Hoggit. And No Man's Sky, I just kind of played to chill out. Okay, which one do I gotta go through here? This one. Yeah, No Man's Sky, kind of, it's a chill out game. Used to play quite a bit of that, and I shouldn't say quite a bit. Spent a lot of time in it. Got confused. couldn't figure out what the hell I was doing. Ouch. And then they did an update to it, which changed things and confused the hell out of me, so I had to start over, and now they've done another couple of updates. So I may have to start over on that and stream that a little bit. See if I can get some people help me out, figuring me out here. Heck, I might even put Star Trek Online back on. I haven't done that one for a long time. That pirate ship. Looks like it. That's cool. Go wild blue yonder. Hey, anybody that's watching, if you have a recommendation for a desk chair that is commonly available besides an IKEA Marcus, which this one is about 7 years old now, 6 years old, and it's really uncomfortable now. I don't want a gaming chair, but some kind of a decent desk chair. The only requirement is like a higher back, armrests, and firm, but still got some padding so that you can sit in it for quite a while. Throw it in the chat, man. I do appreciate it. I've been racking my brain, and the only thing I can come up with is go back to IKEA, but I don't want to. But I'd like to get something that's common, so I can at least get an idea from reviews. And it's hard, you know, you go to the store and you just sit your ass down on something. It's hard to judge 10 minutes when you damn well know that you're going to be sitting in it for hours. That was my fault for not paying attention. Do anything to that? No, I'm good. Okay. So when do they expect this? They expect it Tuesday. And I'm going to have it there Monday afternoon. Well, that should make them happy. Going to do, I think, is once I get over this bridge, the next rest area, I'm going to pull the truck in and park. We're going to take a little intermission. I'm going to take my dog down so he can do his thing in the rain and get a refill on my drink. Back in here and finish this run. So that's what the plan is on the next fuel stop or rest stop that we come across. if everything goes as planned. I'll have this run done in a little bit. Let's see what happens. And my poor dog is snoring. Poor little guy is snoring. He's got a heart condition, so he's on medication for that. And, he's getting up there in years, and he's not doing 100% anymore. He has some issues. So, trying to keep everything on the up and up. Keep him going. So I'm going to have to wake him up, take him down, let him do his thing in the yard. Looks like we get a rest stop coming up here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's a gas station. That'll do. So we're just going to pull in here. Hit the parking. Because we're good on fuel. Okay. So just to make things interesting for you peoples, we'll give you an overview of the freeway passing by as we break to the intermission for a few minutes. And once we're back, we'll finish up this job. But right now, we'll just take a quick little break. So hang in there. I'll be back in a few minutes. took a little less time than what I thought. Let's see what's happening here. Stick our face back in the truck. And let's get driving. Seems the truck book app that we used to do our tracking after it was down for most of the week with the update from Euro Truck to 133 that it had some kind of other bug that was preventing some people from logging their miles, which they patched tonight. That's what the intermission earlier this evening was for, so I could update to that one. It wasn't affecting me, fortunately, but it was affecting others. So I was just on the Discord to seems to have fixed it for a few people, but some other people haven't reported back yet whether it's fixed it for them or not. And the dog's been dealt with. And the cola is in the glass. And now we're good to go to Paris. But the only thing left to disturb me is the cat. Which, as a matter of fact, is at the window right now, so just hang on 1 second, folks. I'll be right back. Gotta love all these little interruptions, eh? Isn't that fantastic? Makes for great radio. And even worse television. So now that we're into Germany, and hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. Seems the cat wants more attention than what it normally does, which is usually a hell of a lot. And it has the ability to open doors, so you gotta keep an eye on it. And in fact, it wants out at the moment. Stand by. Actually, let's just do that. I'll be right back. Isn't that special? Let's see here. Let's see how long before the cat annoys me again. I say 5 minutes. Long enough for it to eat the food I just threw at it. Why are they slowing here? The merge lane. I hate when they do that. They change lanes and they slow down. Stupid AI. Not very bright. Yeah. That's okay. Should do a quick check though, just to make sure I'm not going any place weird. Well, that looks good. Sometimes the mapping is not quite great. And you'll notice in the game as I go more south, it gets darker and darker. You get a lot more light up here in the evenings. using a mod, realistic lighting for the headlights, which makes it a lot more like a real truck would be. At least as far as the high beams go. Low beams are alright, they're not great. Not very realistic in my opinion. But that's just me. Now I do have the spotlights up on the top, which I haven't enabled on the high beam setting yet. It's because they're just crazy bright in a cone in the front of the truck. Actually, give me a second here and I'll show you. If I enable the roof auxiliary, I'll wait till I get past the truck here and then I'll hit the high beams and you see what I mean. Definitely lights up the road if you see. If you're having trouble seeing the road with that, there's something wrong. Let me just disable those so I can actually use the high beams if I need to. My fault, car. I'm sorry. Now we were discussing the other evening about some quality of life changes in the game that would be very cool to have. For any of you that have played the game, you know that at the beginning when you create your profile, one of the things that you do is you choose your favorite truck. You name your company and you choose your company logo out of a pre-select bunch. Now the thing is that the favorite truck, all that does is, as you start off playing the game, you'll get an email from a dealer so that you'll have at least one dealer that you know of where you can buy that particular model. So in my case it was a Scania, and then the company name and the logo is not used anywhere else in the game itself. What I would like to see is that your garages have a name board that maybe has at least the company name in some kind of stylized text. They can all be the same text. Gotta make a quick change here, so I'm gonna have to speed up so I can get in. I just screwed up the guy behind me big time. Yeah, if you had a way that the garages would all have your company name on it. For example, mine is caffeine fueled. And I would love a big, neon sign outside of every garage that says caffeine fueled or Joe's Garage or whatever you're going to call it, and have that appear. That would be great. The other thing is that some of this, when you get to the point in the game where you're able to get other drivers and you buy trucks for them, and now trailers, because that's now in the game that you can have your own trailers, they don't appear anywhere. You will never see any of your trucks on the road. So if you take the time to do special paint job, they will never appear anywhere in the game. You will never pass in the opposite direction from one of your drivers. Which means for people like me who have spent the time and the money to buy very specific trucks with very specific paint jobs and very specific trailers with very specific paint jobs, we've wasted money in the game. Now that might not seem like much, but I can tell you right now that 207 trailers and 125 trucks cost me in the neighborhood of about 45 million for what I wanted. And they're not all painted the way I wanted either, because I went back afterwards and changed the paint scheme. So they're not completed. Some of them have the raw base color, but they don't have the paint job that I want. But it's kind of a waste for me to do anything else but, because the trucks are not being used. I mean, you turn around and you spend all that time and you never see the trucks. I see every other company truck on the road. I never see my truck. I never see the logo that I choose on any truck. The thing is that you can paint, you can specifically paint your truck with the logo. There's a paint job available for every logo that you have available at the beginning of the game, but none of them appealed to me. I just chose a logo because it made me. But if I could just see that specific truck out there driving as an AI, you know, like the AI knows in the background, I am doing a run from Stockholm to Paris. And maybe I've got a driver in Paris that's doing a run to Stockholm. And at some point, you know, maybe we should cross paths. I mean, not all of these vehicles are on the road all at the same time. They're AI generated. They have spawn and despawn. You know, if they go past me because they're going faster, at some point they're going to despawn further up the road and disappear. And if I pass them, eventually they'll despawn behind me. But you should be able to see your own trucks. And especially if you have custom paint jobs on those models. Specific details. You know, if I pass one of my trucks, one of my Scanias, it should have my paint job. It should have my chosen wheels. It should have my chosen, you know, lug nuts. If I've gone with certain lights on it, that should appear. It should be, you know, I paid for that truck. It's my company truck. It should appear on the road somewhere, even if it's just passing me by. You know, it can be completely random. It doesn't even have to be tied to the jobs that the AI are doing, if that's too much of a recoding nightmare. But it would be nice to be able to see that, and it would be nice to be able to have our company name on the garages. Hell, even throw the logo on there. I mean, they make us choose a logo. You know, do a few more Put it to the community. Design some logos. Some generic logos that can be stuck on a sign. They don't even have to be included in the paint job. And another bonus would be some way of having just the company name written on the side of the trailer or on the side of the truck, rather than having to have a custom skin made. Like watch the next truck that we go by, the next company truck that has some kind of a box trailer that should have some kind of a logo on it for a company. Every company that you pick up from and every company that you deliver to will have some sort of vehicle with its logo on it somewhere. So why can't we have ours? That would be cool. That would be very cool. I just think it's something that we should be requesting. But then again, I'm a finicky old fart. So who's to say that my idea is right? But I think there's a few people that agree with me. Must be getting close to Holland if we're seeing sunflowers like that. That's another thing, is the weather. There's some great mods out there for giving you winter weather. But the problem with those is that your choice is winter or not winter. There's no transition. If I drive to Sicily, I'm driving around Palermo when I have the mod installed. It's going to be wintertime. I may have toasted this side of the job too. It just went 110. Fuck. Well, we'll see what happens. They should have some way of doing a transitional weather thing, and they could have it follow the seasons. There's some great winter mods out there, and there's some winter ones that play with the physics as well, make the roads slipperier and stuff. So it can be done. It's just I would like to see that in the game itself, rather than having to rely on a mod maker to come up with it, because then it could be supported directly and you could have a transitional environment. Living in Switzerland, I don't always get snow where I live, contrary to the popular belief that Switzerland there's always snow in the winter. And even if we do have snow here in this particular area, it's not a huge amount. At least it hasn't been since I've lived here. And again, with the weather changes, who knows? But you could do, like, okay, it's winter in Switzerland and you're having you got the snow and the ice. And then you could, when you head south and you go through the tunnels and come out in the southern part of Switzerland, which is, directly on top of northern Italy, you can have a transition area where you get rid of the snow, and you can get into the wettier, slimier weather, and then as you head further south, you can make it nicer. You know, the same thing in France. And of course, it would work the opposite way too, so that when you went up to Norway, if you were up there in December or January or February, you could really have the snow, and you could have, you know, they're talking about these dynamic detours and that are coming in. Well, you can have detours because the road's closed because of the snow. You have to find an alternative route. You can't take this little side road that you were going to take. You're going to have to reroute yourself. I'd love to see that. You know, there's lots of games out there that when you play them, there's an immediate gratification. You know, you see things like in games like Overwatch and Fortnite. You know, there's immediate gratification. Hey, look, I just shot this person, and now I get to take his stuff. And this is a much different game. It's not an immediate gratification. This is more like sitting down and enjoying a nice cold beer on a warm day, where it's like relaxing. Take your time. There's no rush. No, you know, just chug the beer. You sit down and you enjoy it. And that's what this game is. And I love it. You know, I've played other games where it's like Team Fortress 2 was the original one for Fortnite and Overwatch and all these other games. And it was a blast to play. But man, it was intense. And then you get other titles that really just tell fantastic stories. You know, one game that I always envied, I wanted to get, but I never did get, was The Last of Us. But I watched the whole thing on a playthrough on YouTube. I can't remember the guy's complete YouTube name, but it was Brad something. I don't know, maybe someone that's watching would know. Brad Plays or something like that. He's really good. But that game was fabulous. See, look, there's a company truck. It's got its name on the side. Why can't I have that? You know, that game had it all. That game had some good stories. It had some relaxing moments. It had some tenseful moments. It had good action. Everything else. But sometimes you're just not in the mood for that. You just want to sit down and chill and relax. And anyone that does driving for a living, part of my job back in Canada before I moved here was I did a lot of driving to the tune of 150,000 kilometers a year. And I tell you, that was part of the job that I absolutely loved was the driving. Nowadays, you know, the wife, she wants to go visit her parents. Well, it's an hour and a half drive. And she's like, oh, but it's so far. And for me, that's a drop in the bucket. It's like, yeah, let's go. Go there for coffee. And she's like, what? She doesn't get it. It's not that she doesn't like to drive. It's just she doesn't understand the appeal for me. But I just love it. I listen to a lot of podcasts throughout the day while things are going on. And I do that when driving too. Okay, I just want to see where we are. Okay, well that's not too bad. 445 kilometers to go. That's nothing. Coming into Brussels. Speed limit now is 90. So I'm allowed to drive it. Yeah, I listen to quite a few podcasts when I'm driving, when I'm puttering around, whenever I've got free time. In fact, yeah, tugboat, cool. In fact, I've got a Android phone, and one of the things that I've got the Google Assistant to do for me is in the morning, when I say good morning to it, it tells me the weather, what's on my agenda for the day, and it also tells me, it also plays me the news from a few selected news sources. And I actually have my podcast app download those same news sources every time it checks to see. It only keeps the latest one, and it downloads the news. I've got some Canadian ones, some American ones, some British ones, some German ones, and I take that on the go, so I've always got something fairly recent to listen to as far as news. And these news podcasts, these are like summaries. I think, well, look at Jets landing. I think they're like 4 or 5 minutes each. But there is a British one, the BBC update, that I think is 25 minutes. And the way I've got it set up is that one plays as one of the last ones. But I've got one from CBC, which is the Canadian broadcast company, the national broadcaster there. And then I've got like NPR, Wall Street Journal, and a couple other ones from the States. And the British one, and then Deutsche Welle for Germany. All in English. And besides the other podcasts I listen to, I always keep those handy, and I have those in the car. And when the wife's with me, generally we'll listen to radio, shoot the shit, and listen to the local Swiss radio. But when I'm alone, it's throw a podcast on. And I even got her listening to a few that this summer we took a week off and had a little camping vacation down in the south of France. Found a little campground right on the Med, and on the way back, I was bored. Radio station selection in France is lacking, in my opinion, and they don't have DAB radio to the extent the Swiss do. The Swiss have actually more channels on DAB available than on standard FM. So I said, do you mind if I throw on a podcast? And she said, no, go ahead. And it was one of my variety shows that I like to listen to. She enjoyed it. She's not a big podcast fanatic. You know, there's a couple I listen to on Saturday mornings when I'm putzing around the house. And she listens to them as well because they're playing. She enjoys them, but it's not something that she would go out of her way to collect, if you know what I mean. And I love doing that when I drive too. Just one of those things. It's all about the relaxing. Because at my age, I'm over the halfway mark, so over the 50 mark now. I can say, yeah, slow down a little bit, enjoy things. 300 clicks. Drop in the bucket. Much easier to do when you got people you can talk to, even though nobody's talking back at the moment, which is no big deal. I'd rather have you guys listen and do nothing than not show up at all. And I know there's a couple there. I'm sure, anyways. We can get this load dropped off, and hopefully it counts. Hopefully I didn't overspeed enough there that it mattered. This won't be long now. This won't be long at all. Actually, you know, driving through Brussels and France is really nice. There's a lot of things that they get right in the game. There's a few things they get wrong. They've got Switzerland all wrong. It's more or less because the Autobahn, that the main roads, the main highways that they, or motorways as they say in Britain, that they configure. It's all, in Switzerland, it seems to be all 2-lane with 1 lane always exiting and 1 lane continuing through, where it's usually 2-lane separate exit lane, and in most places it's 3-lane with an exit lane separate. They just haven't modeled that very well. But I understand each country's different. It's going to be typical here. You can tell we're getting into the toll booths now. At least the French toll booths are consistent. First 2 lanes are always going to be for the speed pass. It's like the Italian ones are terrible. You gotta look for the marks on the pavement. reply from one of our drivers that was having problems with the Truckbook app. I asked him if the new update fixed it, and he said he hasn't had time to try it. He'll have to try it tomorrow. Which is cool. I've seen a lot of people with frustrations in the last few days because of this Truckbook thing. You know, people really enjoy driving for virtual companies, and they get upset when their mileage don't count because it's a little bit of an incentive for kind of a competition between drivers for bragging rights. And in the case of some companies, there's rewards for it. You know, when you're the top driver or the top 3 or whatever the case may be, depending on the size of the company. So, you works hard, yeah, pays your money, yeah, takes your chances. See, look at all the bright colored cars, bright colored trucks. That's awesome. I've had enough silver cars in my life to say, nope, no more, don't want any. I still think there's nothing wrong with the classic black, though. But where did all the colors go? Look at the 50s. So brightly colored, and the strange colors, the mints and the turquoise and the even brown. Whatever happened to the old brown cars? So very few of them left. Then again, there's the Woodies too. I miss all those things. I'm not old enough that I grew up with Woodies wagons when I was a kid. It was a little bit past mine. It still would have been nice. I still appreciate when I see an old car that's been kept up. I think most people are. Some people just don't have that nostalgia to it, that connection. Which is sad. Then again, I look at some people that grew up after me, and I think about some of the vehicles in the 80s, and I go, oh God, how can you have any form of a connection to those things? And I'm sure older people than that grew up in the decade before me probably say the same thing about me. But we all agree the mid-70s sucked for cars. Yeah, copper pulled him over. Got him for speeding. Or burned out taillight. Or general ass hattery. I don't know if you notice, but every once in a while in the distance you'll see these little black things in the sky. They're actually birds that are circling. But every time I see them, I think there's a friggin' bug on my monitor. I try to reach up and wipe them off, and it doesn't do a damn thing. if any of you who are watching are interested in playing American Truck Sim or Euro Truck Sim, Steam is actually having a publisher sale. I believe it's either on now or will be on. And anything from SCS Software is on special, so you can probably snag a deal and set it up yourself if you want. Totally up to you. I'll tell you, it's relaxing. Like I say, you can play this with a controller if you don't have a steering wheel. You can play with mouse and keyboard. Probably not the best experience. And you can even play it on older hardware like Zub earlier. He said he's got an old laptop. Turn the detail down a little bit. And yeah, it does have radio built in. You can have you can set up your own list of stations from internet stations as long as you know what the address is to get to the file. They have about 40 different stations you can choose from, different genre. And of course, in American Truck Simulator, it's a little more American oriented, a lot of country music and stuff, which is fabulous. Don't let anybody tell you that country doesn't rock, because trust me, there's some country that rock. But you can add your own to it. Or you can just put on your own tunes in the background, throw on your Spotify or whatever, and just drive a bit. Chill out, relax. Get yourself a nice cold beverage, like I do. Throw the headphones on. Pop on your favorite tunes. Just drive for a little while. You start off, you don't have your own truck, so you're doing jobs for other people, so you're jumping in and out of different trucks depending on the job. And you'll have a chance to try just about every truck in the game, and you can decide which one you like. So that when you get that bundle of cash, or you decide to take out the loan from the bank when they offer it, and turn around and you go get your truck. Get what you want. Here's where I always mess up, and it's usually coming off of a high-speed run. I do this when I'm driving regularly. It's like, I'm driving too slow, man. Why am I driving too slow? I can't drive slow like this. What's wrong, man? There's something wrong. End up flying off a corner or something. Not in real life. Not that bad. Here we go. I can see the flag on the map on the GPS. We're not far from it. Nope, not going to IKEA. We'll go here. There we go. I never see anybody on a crosswalk. You see people in the towns. You see them gathered around, especially the American trucks, and they got several on the coast in California, and there are people all over the place. But you never really see them here. logistics center. Can't turn there, obviously. I can see our trailer marker there, so. It's a big yard. Don't open the gate. Thank you. And just to make life interesting, we're going to park it. Nope, not skipping it this time. Do this old school. Steerable trailers, gotta love them. That's the grinding of my own wheel here. Yeah, it's a steerable trailer. It cuts so quick. I misjudge it all the time, so. There we go. Cut the engine. Toss in the load. The big question is, will it count or do they consider me speeding? So you're not going to be able to tell because it won't show up on the screen, but I can by looking. It took it and marked it as difficult parking. Maximum speed reach was 109. It is not marked as speeding. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I'm going to call that a good night, even though I screwed up with the one job, thinking I borked it, but now I know better. And we'll call that quits. I want to thank everybody who showed up. Whether you spoke out or not, please come back and visit the next time that I'm up and running. Sit here and just enjoy the trip. That's all that we're doing. We're just enjoying things as they go. So thanks for coming out. Catch you next time. If you want to do a follow, so you can keep track of me, great. If not, no big deal. Would love to see my follower count go up by 10 this month. That would be awesome. That's why I've got the goal on the screen. I wouldn't mind seeing that happen. You know, but no big deal if it doesn't, because This is for fun. And as you can tell, I got the gift of gab. I never shut up. And I should, because it's time to go. All right, everybody, have a good day. Have a good night. Drive safe. Drive sober. And best of all, just take some time and relax. So important. So important in life. Chill out. We do. And if you're interested in a VTC, scroll down. Hit the link to the Lithium Trucking. Lithium Long Haul. They'll get you going. Great bunch of people. All right. Good night, everyone.